Welcome everyone to the Slim for Spring Challenge update. So I want to take you guys through a little bit more information on how the challenge is going to work. Let's go from top to bottom here. At any point in time throughout the video you can go back and read as you see, but this is basically going to be the run of the challenge itself. So the goal and the objective. Okay, obviously the magic number has been 4. We are aiming to lose perhaps 4 kilos or 4% body fat in 4 weeks time. And how we're going to do it, we are going to calorie count our way there. So basically with your challenge you're going to get a whole bunch of recipe books. Now in those recipe books you will have a gluten-free book, a 5-ingredient book, a vegan book, a smoothie book, a high protein and a low carb book. So there are 40 recipes within each book. You'll also find that each recipe book itself has a 2-week plan as like a bit of a sample, and it's got a shopping list as well. Now you can follow that 2-week plan on one of them. You can follow the same 2-week plan twice on one of them. You can follow 1 week on 4 different ones. You can pick and choose and make your meal plan if you have that much time and you wish to go about it that way. Each recipe itself will have a barcode. Now, one of the most reputable apps to calorie count is MyFitnessPal, and it also links in well with our recipes. So at the bottom of every recipe is a barcode, and inside the app you have your camera, and you basically scan the barcode and it will feed all the information quickly to save time on entering each piece of food that you eat. You'll still need to do that on anything that you eat outside of these meals, which you can, as long as they fit into what our objective is for the goal. Remember, we always go back to here. Let's move along. So basically, to get all the information to figure out how much you should be having, how much you shouldn't be having, we need to get what we call our in-body scan. Now, the first thing you need to know is it'll be here on Monday, the 2nd of September. So that's next Monday, or the Monday coming, between 6 and 9:30 a.m. It takes about 5-10 minutes to get your scan done, and it'll give you a whole bunch of information like your bone density, your lean muscle mass, your body fat percentage, your visceral fat, your water retention rate, all of which is some really good information. But the key one that we're going to work off is your basal metabolic rate. Now, the last time that I got my scan done, it was 1640. Now, that total there is the calorie consumption per day that I would need to consume in order to maintain the current physique that I have. So obviously, if I wish to lose weight, then I would probably need to be consuming less than 1640 per day. Now, on training days, right, where we are going to burn a little bit more, okay, because we're going to be exercising, you're going to aim to consume your basal metabolic rate. So I would try to consume 1640 calories or 1600 just to be safe for the days that I train. And you can see here on non-training days where I don't exert myself, I'm going to try and be 200 underneath. So I'm going to be about 1400 per day. Now, if I do that across my week, okay, if I work at a 7-day forecast and I look at my whole 7 days and I work out if I'm going to be going out to dinner, I need to be minusing here, there. You've got to play around with your maths a little bit depending on how you wish to approach the challenge. However, by the end of the week, I wish to be sitting in a deficit overall across the week of my basal metabolic rate, and this should hopefully equal 1 kilo of weight loss. And if we do that for the 4 weeks, there we should get our 4 kilo of weight loss. Let's move along to the next point. We've got some little points here, okay, about our challenge and what we need to just remember. So hydration, we're going hard on the water. We're going 3 to 5 liters per day, all right? Now, if you want to really maximize what you get out of the challenge and potentially lose even more than 4 kilos, you're going to need to really stick to these kinds of things. No gluten, no dairy, no sugar or alcohol. All right, and obviously, as you can see here, to see the maximum effect of the challenge. All right, you're always going to need to have protein in your meal. That's going to be really key. Protein keeps you full and tends to obviously help with muscle growth, and also reduces the amount of carbs you'll need to have, and that in turn will incur a bit of weight loss or fat loss there. The walking, okay, you'll need to walk a minimum of 75,000 steps per week. So I'm not going to give you a daily thing. I want you to think about all of this as a week and then times it by 4. Yeah, everything as a week times it by 4. So, all right, so as you can see here, plan your week and commit to yourself. So if you're going out Friday or Saturday night and you know that whatever you're going to choose on the menu, even if you choose a better option, is still going to have that slightly higher calorie intake, okay, then you adjust as you need on the other days leading up to it or afterwards to make sure that you still sit within what we're asking for, okay? 200 under non-training days or your basal rate on training days. You should see across the week a drop of a whole basal rate of 1640 if it was me, and that would hopefully be 1 kilo. If I wish to go more, then I may lose more weight. If it's less, I may lose less weight. I want you to think about it all like that. And I only want you to think about all these numbers, okay, until you are comfortable with assessing how much food you should be eating on a daily basis, because I only calorie count when I'm really struggling to get on top of things, okay? Otherwise, I tend to understand and I can visually see how much portion sizes should be and roughly how many calories that should be. So you only want to do this sort of stuff until you get confident and comfortable with the process and continuing on for longevity, okay? Let's move down to the next part here, our catch up at the midpoint. So usually at the midpoint or even just before is when things start to slightly go astray. You might start to perhaps not have lost a kilo in that first week. You might feel like you are craving certain foods that are over here that tend to be comforting when you get your triggers, and we're going to go down here in a second and talk about that. But basically, we're going to catch up as a group, go for a bushwalk. About midway through, we'll recalibrate, reset the goals, and then sort of continue on for the final 2 weeks. All right, I'll be contacting you all as a group with like daily tips and things, but also I'll be contacting you individually to track your progress and to help keep you accountable and for any deeper questions you may have that you don't wish to potentially put on a group chat. In terms of your mantras, so look, basically this 4 weeks is only 7.7% of your whole year. So we're basically asking you to give yourself 7.7% of the year to basically be a little bit selfish and focus on just you and be a little bit strict so that you can really see the results of this challenge, okay? I want you to also, if you wish to, you can document down the process. So when you get those feelings of your triggers and whatnot, you write down how you're feeling, and sometimes that can let the let those emotions go away, and you won't resort in going over here and having these things that tend to be our comforters for triggers and whatnot. And then obviously having the alternatives, like I said, for your triggers. So you're breathing, a walk, water, a snack that sort of fits within this sort of challenge, and basically that's it. So we'll work on this process for 4 weeks, and hopefully by then we'll have built ways to build up some tolerances for when we get triggers. We'll become a little bit better in the kitchen with some new recipes. We'll understand what sort of calorie count and deficits and surpluses, if you wish to put on weight and gain muscle, need to be. Obviously you've got a ton of recipes, but this is the challenge team. I'm looking forward to working with you. Let's get stuck in, let's get excited. Your recipes will be coming out tonight or tomorrow morning, but this is all you really need to know for the challenge, and over the weekend you'll start to get yourself prepared. The main things to remember is on Monday the 2nd of September between 6 and 9:30 a.m. drop down for 10 minutes to get your scan done, and then you'll basically have your number. I'll also place all of this into a PDF and send it out with the recipes tomorrow, and you will also have a website where you can get a very close estimate of the calculator if you can't make those 3 hours to get your scan done. Alrighty, so I did a calculator for mine, and there was only a 100 calorie increment, so it was 1700 on the calculator, which is it was less, not more, it was less, 100 calories less. So in saying that, that's probably even a better thing, that the fact that the calculator had me situating at less calories. So it's going to sort of get myself thinking that I need to be even lower than that, and that'll probably help with my weight loss journey. All right, team, that is everything. Let's get started.